I want to unveil this curl, and you know, this is kind of taking a chance because sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but I think it's going to work. And when are we giving away that big old prize?
We're going to give that away at the end. If you haven't signed up for the prize yet, the big $2,300 photography and video package prize, we have our booth over here. Now would be a good time to send someone over there and fill one of those forms out. The Masterpiece Images booth right over here next to Paul, the DJ, America's Wedding DJ. By the way, if you need a DJ, Paul is a great DJ. He's been the one that's been doing the music for us and coordinating the video up here. So he does a great job. So kudos to Paul.
We're going to add a little more spray. I didn't put quite enough spray on that because I wanted to see what kind of a curl this really does, because it's that really awesome corkscrew. I got a little curl but didn't get as much as I wanted. And there again, we're eliminating the use of a really hot iron. And you know, sometimes when you're doing your hair and you're getting that sizzle says stop. It's not good for your hair. How many of you have problems with static electricity? Yeah, and more now. Do you notice in the wintertime it gets a little worse? And a lot of that is because there's static in the air from the heater. And your heater in your home, your furnace, it makes it stand up. And what that says is when your hair is coming up, it says, I want water. It says, I want moisture. And then you put moisture and it drops. And I've got products, my own product line that has Asian sugar in it. Asian sugar is what's found in cactus in arid climates, and cactus are able to pull what moisture there is out of the air to stay alive. And that's why my product has that particular ingredient in it, so it's really good stuff. And it's down at our salon if you ever need it. That's looking really awesome. Looks really nice.
Updo, but down still, so you've got that length in the back, you've got that cascading curl, and you've got it up off your face. Now I'm going to go ahead and put it all up, put the veil in it. I want you to know this particular Just Girl stuff, and Laura Schmansky is the owner, and they're just around the corner, and the veil, that shop that sells them is just right there around the corner too. So go ahead and look at those for your veils and your accessories.
Yeah, so the veil is from Gallery by Lynette, there in the back. And Just Girl stuff is also in the back, but on this side. They also do little kids' tuxes, dress-up things for little boys, for the ring bear, dresses for the little girls, and all kinds of hair accessories, things like that. They're a great shop to go to, and a lot of bridesmaids dresses as well.
Maybe we could talk a little bit about extensions. Any of you have extensions in your hair now? Anybody extensions out there, back there? They look great. They look really good. A great way to add some length, and then you can add that extra little twist when you're getting married with your outfit and your gown. Let's see if this gave us another try at it. You've got nice, beautiful, shiny hair. You know that? Come on out. But see the soft curl we got out of that? And you can get that kind of look. Basically what we want is a lazy curl. We don't want anything like corkscrewy. We want something that's soft and falls like a wave. And a lot of times when you're looking at a photograph, you think, why does that photograph look good to me? And it's because the artist framed it correctly, had the right ingredient, and there's a wave motion that your eye automatically sees in the art world. And when you see a photograph that's pleasant to you, maybe you see a black and white and you think, I like that photograph. It's because there's lack of color in it. And it strikes the mind wanting to see more. And that's why you like that look. And then that little quirk of an angle on a photograph might even spark the reason why you like it so much. Isn't that kind of true in photography?
Yeah, that's right. In fact, I want to talk a little bit about posing in photography. A lot of times you hear, especially nowadays, you'll hear people say, oh, well, if it doesn't turn out, I'll Photoshop it. How many of you heard, I'll Photoshop it if it didn't work? You hear that a lot. Well, the two things that Photoshop can't fix is lighting and posing. And in black and white photography, it's the lighting. It's the difference between the highlights and the shadows that make a great black and white photography. The other thing about posing is posing will actually control how heavy or how slender you look. And how many of you want to look heavy in your photos? Yeah, probably not anyone. With posing, Poses started back with the ancient Greeks. The ancient Greeks, when they did their sculpture, they wanted their sculpture to look like it had more motion in it. It looked like it was alive. The pharaohs and the Egyptians beforehand just had real stiff sculpture. Well, posing started with the ancient Greeks, was refined by the Romans, and again in the Renaissance. And now, because we have digital cameras, that doesn't take away all of that study of the human body and how it goes together and how it works. So posing, a bad pose can add 20 pounds to you the way you look, where a good pose can actually take off 20 pounds from the way you look. So posing, there's no way you can Photoshop a bad pose, and there's no way you can Photoshop bad lighting. That has to be done in the camera when the photographer is taking the picture.
Interesting. Have you noticed, and Ryan, maybe you realize this, but we are definitely a big teeth, smiley generation. If you look at photographs 50, 60 years ago, very few people smiling. Now we've got the beautiful teeth, we've got everything going on, and it's like big smiles, and I think that's incredible. That, I mean, it's just a change of what was in the past.
Yeah.
I'm going to give this gift certificate to Jordan for being a model for me. Thank you very much. And let's give her a hand, you guys. Thank you very much. I'm sorry. This is now, Cassie's moving on to an updo. Before we did a do down. And there again, important to choose which direction your girls want to go with your bridals.
One thing that's really important when you're getting your wedding pictures done, and something that I tell all my clients, is before you even think about getting your hair done, whether it's up or down or whatever, if you have roots, your updo or your downdo, whatever it is, if you have roots, it's going to look awful. So please make sure that you get your color refreshed, that you don't have roots, and that you don't have a bad color. I would not suggest any of you go home and color your own hair unless you're familiar with it, just to get a good color right before your wedding, because there have been many emergencies that we've had to fix. So one thing that I tell all my clients is make sure your hair is colored and trimmed before you start getting it done for your pictures and your wedding day. So go ahead and turn around, Lexi, and let's put the belt in. Okay, depending on the veil, there are some veils that will go underneath, there are some that go on top, and lots of people only keep their veil in for the ceremony and the pictures, and then they like to take it out for the reception. For me, just real quick before we move on, I particularly insist on consultation. I cannot guarantee my work unless I have a consultation to practice. However, I do pricing where I do the whole bridal package for $70. That includes your practice consultation, your day of the bridals, and your day of the wedding. So you essentially get your whole practice consultation for free. Let's go ahead and turn around to the front. That makes sure that I can get to know your texture of hair, what you want, and make sure that we can work with it. If you come in the day of your wedding and you want it perfect, I don't think you're going to get it just how you want it. It's really important that you do a practice. So make sure wherever you get it done, you ask for it and you do a practice right.